Yo, yo. Yo.
What's going on? What's go? I trying to smoke one for your here, partner. We have no
we're,
victory cigar.
we're back for another episode of Island Boys Football Talk, playoff edition. The playoff has just started. We're here with your boy Kid Jizzle,
And your boy.
Eagles family. We're also here with your boy C Money, 49er gang, coming off a big
Bang, bang,
victory.
bang, bang,
Um,
man. Again.
of course, keep it pounded. Street is not here as yet. He'll be here shortly, dealing with a few issues. But again, it's playoff football. It's playoff football, and we finally got to see the first game started about 4 o'clock with the 49ers. Um, it was a tight game early in the first half. They were able to regroup in the second half and dominate and come up with a commanding victory. So we let see money go ahead and talk about this game.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was a tight game in the beginning. Had my stomach in knots for a little bit, but that's one of the things we talk about, right? Like playing a team for the third time again. Your divisional team, the team know what you're gonna come out with. We try to hit them with some of the same stuff that we hit them with last time, and it wasn't working. I ain't gonna say it wasn't working because we were scoring. Um, they came up with some stuff that didn't happen last two times. Like Metcalf was getting loose. Um, Kenneth Walker had 50 something yards, I think, and a half. Like running backs don't even get like 60 yards on us. And I think he ended it with under that too. I have to check the stats. But we started off good. I thought we would start off good. It was 10-0 in the first quarter. I think that was good. It should have been 14-0, but we just didn't convert on the second time. The first time we were in the end zone, in the red zone, and then I think they got touchdown by Kenneth Walker, made it 10-7,
Right.
and then they got the deep bomb down to DK Metcalf that made it 14-10.
14-10.
Yeah. And I mean, if you watch the 49ers last season, we have the number one defense, but we do give up that one explosive play. And that was their one explosive play. Then after that was it. Then after that, clamps on. And offense came out. The defense was still a little sputtery because it was 14-10. Then I think it was we scored two field goals, 16-14. And then they scored a field goal in the end after a stupid penalty by Jimmy Ward, unnecessary roughness on the quarterback. They made it 17-16, and then we went into the half with it at 17-16. At this point, Jizzle, your boy couldn't drink nothing. Hutton, I thinking about, oh my God, because at that point, Brock Purdy was only 9 for 19.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, here we go. Here's that game. That game that everybody been waiting on. That game to bring Purdy back down to earth. I was like, look, this looked like he gonna be it. And the defense was not playing on all the P's and Q's to say that if he have that game, then we could at least hold on with the defense, because we going into the half and we don't want. That wouldn't have been good. But Purdy went in the locker room. Remember who he was? He came back out gunslinging.
Right.
Right? And to me, the game was still a close game because we scored a touchdown, and then here comes Seattle driving on the field. I think at that point it was 23 to 17.
Yeah.
And here comes the Seattle Seahawks driving down the field. We can't stop them on third down. They were third and long, and DK Metcalf made a beautiful catch on the inside of Traverse. On Demonol Leno, who was on excellent coverage, but just got a good pass, and he got the first down. And then they're inside the 10. I think it's second down, and Emmanuel forces the strip sack, and Bosa jumps on the fumble.
Right.
And ladies and gentlemen, after that was all it wrote. Because from there we went on to score, and we scored again, and we scored again. Right? And they scored a garbage touchdown there in the last 2 minutes of the game. But made the score 41-23, I think it was, at the end. So we made that adjustment in the second half. I think we did. Purdy remembered who he was and shake off that little. I think it was the jitters. It could be the big stage jitters. It could be. Remember, he never played in the big game before.
Probably, yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? It could have been the big game. I mean, he missed some throws that I saw that he don't usually miss. And it wasn't raining like everybody thought it was. The ball wasn't wet or nothing. It didn't start to rain until like the fourth quarter. So the weather did hold up, which was a good thing. And we were able to play a whole game plan, not be one-dimensional. And we dealt with Seattle for the third time. Big blow, like I wanted to be. It was close in the beginning, but it ended up comfortable. It ended comfortable. And now we're moving on to the next stage, full momentum, 11 games in a row. They got to come to Santa Clara again.
Right.
It'll be our final home game of the playoffs next week. Who we got faced? Well, what seed we got faced, right? You gonna be the...
It depends. You're gonna face the highest seed.
The highest seed.
The highest seed coming out. Whoever wins after Sunday. Sunday you'll find out who you're gonna be facing. So yeah, the Eagles are facing the lowest seed, but you're gonna be facing the highest seed.
Right.
But in that game, you kind of saw where with Seattle, where the game changed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, I think it was coming out to the end of the second half and end of the first half.
Yeah,
when
made a comment about
when I made a comment when it was it was a minute and 15 left.
Mm-hmm.
You're third and 8. Why would you run the ball?
Right.
You're at this point you're at like the 45-yard line. Why would you run the ball? A minute and 15 left, third and 8. Momentum is in your favor right now. Seattle, you hold Seattle to a field goal. You got the ball back. You came down, you're driving. Third and 8. Momentum is in your favor. DK Metcalf is hot. Yep. Geno Smith is on a groove. Why would you go a run play? You're playing scared. I think that was a bad coach. I think after that is where you're gonna see where Seattle kind of lost the game after that. Mm-hmm. Geno Smith, he the answer for Seattle.
But they want him though. They want him back.
They want him back, but he's not an answer for Seattle. Yeah, he made some good throws. He had a good year, but you could see he's not a starting game changing type of quarterback. You can actually see that. There were a few players that were there to be made with what you call it in the middle of the field, and you can see that he was hesitant to make those type of throws. He was hesitant a lot, and again, Pete Carroll again, your defensive minded head coach. You allow 2 running backs to come out to leak out in the back, into the field, and get touchdown. I think it was a touchdown to McCaffrey and a touchdown to Mitchell. Your defensive head coach.
But they give them grace though. Not give them grace, but their stats was that they're I think number 30 guard and running backs in Titans though.
Regardless, Regardless, it's the NFL. Regardless. You didn't decide to blitz at all in this game.
He didn't blitz one time.
You didn't decide at all to blitz one game. You see, Purdy is struggling in the first half. 9 for 19. You gonna come out in the second half and make it comfortable and easy?
He didn't blitz one time. He did not blitz Purdy one time.
He was coaching scared. You're coaching scared. You cannot be coaching scared.
I think
playoffs.
When they did the halftime interviews, the two females did the halftime interview.
Right.
And the one talked to Carroll and asked him if he gameplay, how he going, and he said, "Yeah, we're just running our plays, just taking what's open." I don't think he didn't even sound excited that he was in the lead. You know what I'm saying? And then she asked him, "What are you gonna do?"
No, you know what I think it was. A lot of people think that they want Geno back. I don't think he has confidence in Geno.
So he
if you have confidence in Geno, you're not coaching like that. If you have confidence in Geno, you're not running the ball at with a minute and 15 left and 3rd and 8.
Yeah.
You could have easily been up
maybe
20 you could have easily been up 20 to 16.
Right.
Maybe if you could have been up 20 to 13. Because you could have easily probably get a first down. By time then, it's a minute. It'd probably be a minute and 5, a minute and some change. Probably close to maybe 50 something seconds. You know what I mean? You get a chance to go down. Get a field goal. Seattle, let me see Seattle now. San Francisco doesn't have a chance to actually go down the field, gain momentum, and get that field goal and going back into the locker room feeling good. You could have easily been up probably 17 to 10, 17 to 13, maybe 20 to 13. It depends. Maybe 21 to 13. Then momentum is in your favor. That's what happened when you coach scared. I think he was coaching scared. I think he was coaching. I think he saw that. He realized he's like, look, we can't really stop McCaffrey. Purdy's playing bad. We're gonna stick with our game plan. Not thinking that, you also got a great play call and a good head coach on the other side. But that team is gonna come out good in the second half. They won't struggle. I wasn't expecting Ferdinand to struggle again in the second half. I wasn't expecting.
I wasn't really either.
Right.
Because we were seeing. If you watch the game, I know you watched the game. You were seeing what Shanahan was setting up because the whole game, the middle of the field was wide open.
Right. You kept.
Are you in the middle of the field wide open?
Right. They kept giving Purdy easy looks. They never gave Purdy. And like I said in the last show that we had. You should have. They should have. For them to beat the 49ers, they would have needed to give Purdy different looks.
Yep.
Because this is his 6th game starting.
Yeah.
There's a lot he hasn't seen in the NFL. You give him different blitz packages, different coverages, different looks. I mean, with him struggling, it probably would have been a different game. The 49ers probably would have had to run the ball more. But I think Pete Carroll, his defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator, was coaching scared. But I kind of see why looking at that game why they were coaching scared. I don't think they have full confidence in Geno.
Remember, their defensive coordinators are first-year defensive coordinators.
Yeah. Right.
You know, I mean, I ain't making an excuse for them because I don't think they planned properly for what we was doing. I think the media got to them a little bit. I think because like what he said the other day, if he was joking or not, if he was trying to ruse us or what, but it looks like he was serious because it looked like he didn't really plan for what the finals had to do against him today. And then, to me, he was banking on big shots, big plays. That's why it looked like. Take away the Metcalf big touchdown. How much go? Right? Our defense didn't give up that one big touchdown. What it'd have been lower. It'd have been in the teens, right? They should have finished in the teens, but they got that one last touchdown in the end. You don't blitz Purdy. Every team we play been blitzing Purdy. Every team, just to see if they could rattle him.
Exactly.
And like you said, Purdy went 9 for 19 in the first half, and you ain't come out with your you ain't pin your ass back and put pressure on Purdy.
Yeah, exactly. Blitz him, show him different looks.
Right. So
show blitz and drop back in coverage. Confuse him a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But I guess he's so scared of the run
Yeah, but like I said, you cannot coach scared. You got nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm.
You got nothing to lose. You can't be coaching scared. This is why Bill Belichick has been such a great coach for all these years. Because regardless of what he has on the defensive side, whatever talent he has, you know his record against young quarterbacks. You know what he does? He frustrates the hell out of young quarterbacks because he shows different looks. Doesn't give him the same look. Doesn't give him the same look. He shows different looks, and that's what these defensive coordinators should be doing.
Right.
That a lot of these defensive coordinators are too vanilla in their game plan and their scheme. When you realize you don't have that type of quarterback to keep it in a game, you got to sometimes rely on that defense. Yes, they made adjustment with not allowing Purdy to step up in the pocket.
Right.
Have him run out to the outside.
That
was a little adjustment there. But the other adjustment too was show different looks, show blitzes. Again, yeah, I think Gino didn't take advantage of the underneath plays that were there.
Right, that's why I say it's like
he didn't take advantage of the underneath plays. He was constantly looking down the field to either Metcalf or Lockett. He should take advantage of the underneath plays. Plays were there. Plays were there to be made. But he, again, like I said before, if I'm the Seahawks, I ain't bringing back Gino. I ain't bringing back Gino. And looking in the draft, one of them quarterbacks.
I think I'll bring him back.
Bring him back to be a bridge quarterback to maybe you might sit that quarterback, sit that quarterback and let Gino probably play a year. But that's it.
The team like him.
But they're gonna make it far with Gino. I guarantee you they won't make it far with Gino. You'll probably win a few games in the regular season. You'll probably be a wild card team, but that's about it. You won't get further. You won't. Yeah, you might build your defense and be competitive at some point. But again, before you won't make it further with Gino.
Right.
But as we said before, we all knew that the Cardinals were going to win this game. We all knew that it was gonna be a commanding victory at some point. We all knew that the Seahawks didn't really have much of a chance. I mean, Detroit in the first half, you give them a little mediocre clap for trying, but in the second half, it was over. So congratulations to the Cardinals for moving on. And right now, I think there's another game with the Jaguars and the Chargers, and we see how this goes.
I think there
was a pick just now.
A lot of people got the Jaguars. What you say?
Trevor Lawrence for a pick. Was a tip pick. So.
Oh Jesus! But a lot of people got the Jaguars to beat them Chargers. You know?
Yeah, we'll see.
What do you think?
We'll see. I think the Jaguars got a chance with that pick there now, and in the red zone. The Chargers are already in the red zone. So I mean, you get Justin Howard hot, but what his name is injured, Mike Williams. So I mean, that might be the advantage there for the
and I know
Jaguars.
I know a little injury. I know.
But that's a big injury.
Right. He got a fractured bone in his back
or something like that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not a little injury. I don't see him coming back for the playoffs.
But I think Justin Howard could overcome that. But for this game, he could overcome it.
Yeah.
If they do win, they play either the Chiefs or the Bills. Then
you need
that's
that.
it.
You need that.
That's it. But they could overcome it. He's that good. But I think the next couple of games is what? Giants Vikings Sunday. I think they're playing at 4:00.
Giants Vikings Sunday, and then you got who's the next game is like?
Giants Vikings Sunday and
Dallas is Monday, right?
It gotta be Buffalo and thing, right?
Oh yeah, Buffalo and
Miami, which is gonna be another washout game again. So I don't think Miami has a chance. I think right now Buffalo is riding on emotion with DeMar Hamlin.
Okay, but take that away. Miami start them third string quarterback.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't have a chance.
Take the more emotional away. Ain't no third string quarterback beating Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see.
I don't think they're beating Sean McDermott in that defense.
Right.
And Leslie Frazier and those guys in that defense. I don't see them having a chance. I see a big, probably 30-10 victory or something like that. And probably the Dolphins getting a late touchdown, probably late in the fourth quarter.
Maybe. If
That's
that's
about it. But
maybe.
I see Buffalo moving on.
Yeah.
I think playing tomorrow too, right?
So only 2 games. It's only 2 games tomorrow.
No, because you got the Bengals and the Ravens. They got to play too.
No, yeah, it's 3 games tomorrow. It's 1 o'clock, 4:30
Right,
a.m.
right. So yeah, Bengals and Ravens playing tomorrow too, and of course you know the Bengals gonna play that game.
Okay,
And I
so
think the
Miami and Buffalo is the 1 o'clock is the early game.
Okay.
Then you got the Giants and the Vikings at 4:30, and then Sunday night is the Ravens and the Bengals.
And the Bengals are the what? The Bengals are what, a 3 seed?
Bengals is the 3 seed, yeah.
So if they win, they probably gonna play Buffalo. If Buffalo wins, they probably gonna play Buffalo.
Yeah.
And
That's
that should be a good game.
The NFL is gonna look like to get.
It'll be a great matchup.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals
Beat
pull
Buffalo.
that. Yeah. Yeah. For some Joe Burrow just ice cool. Just
But
ice cool.
When
you see him when he I mean Patrick Mahomes hasn't beaten him as yet. I think right, you know what I mean?
Right.
And Josh Allen beat him as yet?
I think they tied 1-1.
Right. So you know what I mean? That boy Joe Burrow is cool. He's a cool dude. And the start of that game against the Bills, you see how he was playing. You see they were driving, and they got on the field and they scored. I think if it wasn't for if that injury didn't happen, I think they would have won that game. But that's gonna be a great game to watch if it happens. If I don't see Baltimore winning, I think Huntley ain't playing, so they'll have their starting quarterback playing as well. Lamar isn't playing. I agree with him not playing because he doesn't wanna injure his knee some more. Because if he does injure his knee, probably get ACL injury, then he might get a big contract, and hopefully Baltimore will be able to sign Lamar late in the season. Because they don't, gonna lose out on a spectacular franchise quarterback, former league MVP, former All-Pro quarterback, former Pro Bowl quarterback. I think he was all of that in the second year. I don't know why he hasn't got a contract as yet. You should have gave him a blank check.
So before you go off on there, I can tell you my conspiracy theory. I think Lamar is willfully sitting.
I think so too. I would be.
I think Lamar is willfully sitting to show that team that you ain't gonna win nothing without me. And it might be gambling, but you're talking about the man's future, right? You're talking about his future with
and his health. Yeah.
And his health, you know what I'm saying? So it's like all he want, just pay the man the money. He ain't like Lamar's not a scrub. He been carrying you to the playoffs for every time he start.
In a scrub, he's a league MVP. That's I mean, right. He's been playing. He's a league MVP with no All-Pro, Pro Bowl talent, number one wide receiver. Right. Yes, he had a tight end who's really good, but he's an MVP with mediocre receiver talent. He had Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown ain't no All-Pro number one wide receiver. So that should already tell you the type of talent that Lamar is.
And he ain't just there running up and down. You know what I'm saying? He passing the ball. He got good passing yards.
Put him in the right system. If you put Lamar right now, the system that Jalen Hurts running, you put Lamar in our system. My God.
Okay, so let's look at situation with Lamar and Boom. With Lamar could go.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar could go Jets. He go Indy.
To the Jets. Mm-hmm.
Go Houston.
Well, he could go to the Vegas with the Raiders.
Oh my God, Lamar in Oakland.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So.
Oh my God, Lamar in Oakland. That's all I can say.
Right. Put him in the RPO, RPR type offense. The read pass option, read pass run. Is gonna be deadly.
I'm just saying. I mean. Him with a Devontae Adams. That's alone is crazy.
If the Eagles didn't have Jalen Hurts, I would be advocating for Lamar right now. I'd have said, go ahead, get Lamar right now.
Right.
Go ahead, get Lamar. Because he put Lamar in our offense with his speed and his arm strength. That's going to be unstoppable. That's gonna be unstoppable with that offensive line. That would be unstoppable.
Right.
But I want him. I got Jalen Hurts, so that's done. That's done. But but I think the Raiders are making a big mistake. I mean the Ravens. They're making a big mistake, not having not signing Lamar early in the season. Early in the off season. I think that should have been their first priority. You signed Raekwon Smith before you sign Lamar Jackson. Raekwon Smith, yes, he's a good linebacker. He possibly can be a pro linebacker. He's a pro Bowl linebacker. We know he's a game changer, but your best player on that team is Lamar.
Right.
And you should have signed your best player on the team. So we'll see what happens in the off season. But we know what's going to happen on Sunday. We know that they're going to lose to the Cincinnati Bengals. We know Joe Burrow is going to move on. Zach Taylor is doing a phenomenal job. They have a great team. Of course, Chase is playing great. They have Higgins. You have Boyd. You have Joe Mixon. The offensive line is playing good. It's gonna be another quarterback battle in the AFC. It might be Allen and Mahomes in the championship game. It might be Mahomes and
Hubbard
and Allen. I mean Mahomes and Burrow. It might be Mahomes and Hubbard. Maybe because it might be Hubbard and Allen. I might be Hubbard and Burrow. We'll see. But like I said before, it's gonna be great quarterback battles and matchups again, like you saw last year. And this is where you fall in love with the quarterback that has the strong arm and the mobility. Jalen Hurts has won me over now because I see where he's progressing, how he making throws with anticipation and using his legs and stuff like that and taking command of the offense. But God, you love seeing the Justin Herberts, the Josh Allens, and the Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
those guys are unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, Jalen Hurts could even win me over more if he dominates in this playoffs. You know what I mean? But I mean, you got to love these guys. You love watching the Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allens, Joe Burrow doesn't have a great arm, but Jesus, he's accurate as shit. He's accurate as shit. Justin Herbert, he has it all. The arm, the accuracy. Just needs a right coach. That's all. Just needs a right coach. And he'll be an MVP. He'll be an MVP quarterback. Simple.
I still think that's gonna be the downfall of the Chargers. That coach.
The coach. That coach.
Come down with a decision. If this game is a tight game, like I said before, I think I choose the Chargers. But if the game is a tight game, the Jaguars gonna win this game.
Right.
If it comes down to a coaching decision, the Jaguars gonna win this game.
Right. But I think Monday we got a Buccaneers and Cowboys.
Right.
We're gonna see how that game goes. Will Brady does Brady still have that playoff magic? Will he just comes in the playoffs and just dominates? Will he take over? I mean, that Cowboys defense. Was it just a little spark in a little quick spark where they dominated against the Carolina Panthers, and that's because the Carolina Panthers had backup cornerbacks going against Mike Evans.
Right. Easy
pitch and catch. But Cowboys got backup cornerbacks playing too as well. I mean, the only good cornerback they got is Trayvon Diggs, and he'll probably be covering Mike Evans. We'll see how that goes, because Mike Evans is a beast. But you also got Godwin. You also got Julio Jones. But one thing Brady doesn't have is that security blanket in that tight end. We all know when Brady is right. Right. We all know when Brady's doing great, when Brady's playing good, when Brady's at his best, he always has a good solid tight end. He doesn't have that, so we'll see. The offensive line isn't that great. We'll see if Dan Campbell can come up with a few blitz packages, defensive scheme to frustrate Brady and the offensive line. He should. I think Micah Parsons should have a field day against whatever tackles he's going against.
Yeah, because that offensive line is trash.
Only issue is on offense with the Cowboys, Dak Prescott. Is he going to be throwing a bunch of interceptions like he has done all season? I think he's leading the league with 15, 16 interceptions. after not playing for 4 weeks. So, and we all know what Todd Bowles can do on the defensive side. Yes, he doesn't have the talent that he had before. I think Vita Vea will be back for this game.
Okay.
We all know how dominant he can be at the defensive tackle position. But we all know Todd Bowles, he won't play scared. We know he'll blitz he'll blitz a good bit. You wouldn't have Dak sitting back, being comfortable, just dinking and dunking and feeling comfortable. We know he's gonna frustrate Dak a little bit, but we'll see what will Dak be able to do. We'll see if Mike McCarthy can finally coach a good game in this playoffs. Since he's been with Dallas, he hasn't coached a good game as yet. I mean, last year you saw how horrible he was against the 49ers. We'll see what he'll be able to do on Monday against a struggling, horrible Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. I mean, yes, you have one of the best quarterbacks to ever play, but we know how bad that team has been all year, and I don't see the team being dominant this week. Probably come up with a victory. I mean, there's a chance because we all know how the Cowboys are.
Right.
We all know that they could have a little brain fart here or there, one time a game like that now and again. So we'll see. But I think that's pretty much the playoffs games that are ahead. We'll probably talk more tomorrow. I think the 1 o'clock game will be over, the 4 o'clock game will be over. I think will be the 8 o'clock Sunday night game will be on, and we talk about those games as well.
AFC game, then the NFC game, right?
Right.
So
keep it on.
We have a good
Go ahead.
picture. We have a good picture of.
Right.
But I think I might find out. I should be able to find out who I got to play after the football game.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, because the Vikings win, I got to play them.
Right.
If the Giants win, I got to wait until the Cowboys and the Buccaneers.
Right. Exactly. I would have to wait.
But a lot of people banking on the Giants though, because they say the Giants know who they are. The Vikings look bad going into the playoffs.
I understand the Vikings look bad, but that offense is still good.
Yeah,
I mean the Vikings is, but they still have talent on offense. I mean, you got the best receiver in the league right now, Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
You got, I mean, a good complimentary in Adam Thielen. I mean, you got T.J. Hawkinson. You got what his name is, Dalvin Cook.
Yep.
So, I mean, they probably just got put up 24 points. But the issue is the defense. That's the issue with the Vikings. Is the defense. We know the Vikings can score. We know the talent they have on offense. We know how erratic Kirk Cousins can get at times. But you got two star receivers, you got a star tight end.
I always tell you, Cook can give you one. Cook can give you one or two.
So I don't really see. I think I mean, yes, the Giants are a well-coached team. You got to give Brian Daboll credit. If Kyle Shanahan doesn't get coach of the year for the job he's done with those 3 quarterbacks, you got to give Brian Daboll credit for what he's done with this Giants team. After I think last year they were 4-12.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a bunch of games below 500. I mean, Sterling Shepard went down. Rondale Robertson went down. He traded Kadarius Toney. Wasn't in love with Kenny Galladay, and right now he has a team in the playoffs. So sky's the limit for that. Sky's the limit for that team, and that's kind of scary to see, especially for me being that I'm in the NFC.
Right.
I mean,
like I said, it's not ideal in the playoffs to play a divisional.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just too much of the. I mean, you saw what today in our game in the fourth. You know what I'm saying?
But
and I think I kind of glad I got that out of the way, and I don't have nobody else in my division to face because now I haven't played. None of the remaining teams in the NFC have played us.
Exactly.
Okay, so they have no idea what's coming at them.
Right. Exactly. So I mean, the Giants can make this a game. They can win this game because they're a well-coached team. Daniel Jones has been by far a much better quarterback than he's been since he came into the season. Whether under Tom Coughlin or whoever. Not Tom Coughlin, but Brian Daboll and those. And Aaron, I mean, what his name is, Joe Judge. So, I mean, Brian Daboll has done a phenomenal job with that team. Has a great coaching staff. He has Mike Kaplan, those guys, defensive coordinator and stuff. So, sky's the limit for that team. I mean, it's going to be scary if they got some cap space. So, next year, if they do get the right players, if Brian Daboll gets the players that he wants, then the Giants going to make some noise next year. But The Giants probably can make this a game. They probably can win if Minnesota struggles on offense. But
Right.
I kind of see Minnesota win this game. I see Minnesota playing for the 49ers, and that's gonna be a good battle. Um, but I still see the 49ers beat Minnesota.
Never mind. Them
It can
Vikings
be-
can't beat
I see the Vikings beat Naya, but I say it's gonna be a good battle. It's gonna be a very good battle. Um, just because of what they have on offense and how they can attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they have. It's like Seattle. Seattle has two good wide receivers. The quarterback is iffy. But we know that Kirk Cousins is much better than Gino.
Right.
So we know Metcalf is good, but right now Justin Jefferson is playing out his mind right now.
I think Thielen better than Metcalf too.
Right.
You got Jefferson.
Thielen is good too.
Right.
But they have TJ Hawkinson at tight end. It's just
True.
like I said before, it's just their defense. It's just their defense, and that's the issue.
But if you look at the Vikings almost have, I would say they probably have the same amount of weapons that the Finals have.
Right.
Right.
Offensive.
Difference with skilled players is different. Maybe some more players probably better than theirs, but they have the same amount of offensive weapons that you have to worry about. You have to worry about a Dalvin Cook, a TJ Hawkinson, a Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp. Adam Thielen. You know what I'm saying? So that's 4 weapons alone on the offense you have to worry about. And like you said, I think so. Like you're right. The defense is a problem, and I don't think that Cook is consistent enough to keep every time he gets a ball in his hands, he can't keep putting points on the board. If you look at points today, I think we had one time we punt the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think one time we had a 3-0. One time this whole game we had a 3-0. Every other time we put points on the board.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't think Cook could do that with that offense. Even he has that offense, he doesn't do it. You know what I'm saying? He can't keep every time he touches the ball, he can't put points on the board. It's either a 3-0, he can't pull a field goal, points up, nothing. And that's a problem. And I think that's the biggest weakness.
Right. And I agree with that too. But we know Justin Jefferson. I think you will have to lock him down. If you lock on Justin Jefferson, he slow the team.
Yeah.
But if you can't lock on that guy, then it's gonna be a long night.
But once you get a lead, you eliminate Dalvin.
Right. True.
You eliminate Dalvin Cook. And then just lock down Justin Jefferson and make Cook and throw the ball somewhere else.
Right.
And the pressure to KG. The pressure.
Right. The pressure to you.
He don't play well under pressure. All pressure. Let's talk about myself. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't see the Giants having that pressure. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see him.
They blitz a lot.
They blitz a lot.
That's what they do. They blitz a lot.
They don't have consistent pressure from the front foot.
Right.
Not like you have consistent pressure on your front foot. We have consistent pressure from our front foot. They don't have to blitz. And when you blitz, there's somebody open. Right?
If the pressure doesn't get home, but
the pressure don't get home, there's somebody open.
But this is why I say the Vikings most likely will win this game. And if they don't, it's because Kirk Cousins had a horrible game.
Right.
That's pretty much how I see. But other than that, I mean, I don't think there's much we could move forward on. I mean, Keep It Pun is not here to speak about the Carolina Panthers and what they have going forward with their coaching what you call it, their coaching hunt where they're picking. I think right now they're doing interviews with probably Shane Steichen, probably I think they did the interview with Steve Willis. He said before. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if they do interviews with Jim Cardwell, those other guys.
I think they're waiting for me to lose or so they could interview
Demico, right? Yeah. So, but I think they're talking to Shane Steichen this week, if I'm not mistaken. I think Shane.
You can't do that.
Yeah, you could. If he on a bye week.
I thought you can.
You could interview him on a bye week.
Okay.
Yeah, bye week. If you interview him on a bye week, not when they're coaching, during that week. You interview him on a bye week. So,
but
other news around
Lawrence showed 2 picks.
Yeah, that's it. Other news around the NFL. That means Brandon Staley coaching a good defensive game. But other news around the NFL, Jalen Hurts was practicing this week. Lane Johnson was back practicing this week. That's some good news as well. We all know that he made an All Pro list again this year. Jason Kelsey made the All Pro list yet again this year. I think this is his fourth All Pro. I mean, at the age of 25, that's hard to do as an offensive lineman playing center. So I think he'll be there's no doubt he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Slay was an All Pro as well at the cornerback position. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is back finally. That's good. I mean, yes, he played in the Giants game, but he's healthy. AJ Brown is healthy. So right now the team is getting healthy. Hopefully we can get Avante Maddox back. If we get him back, our defense will be completely healthy and be ready to go. Robert Quinn is back, so the whole defensive line is healthy. What you call it? John Davis is also there, so I mean everybody's ready to go. We have interchangeable pieces on that defensive line, so we'll be ready to go come next week. Jalen Hurts said that he's happy that he had the bye week.
He needed
that way wait. That way he can rest up some more, get that shoulder right, and get ready. But he said he'll be ready and he'll be ready to go on all cylinders for the game next week. He'll be running the football, throwing the football, stuff like that. So, keep it pounding this year.
I'm here.
But like I said before, we everybody practiced this week and we're ready to go. And hopefully, the coaching staff is watching film and focusing on our mistakes and our mishaps that we made throughout the season, correcting a lot of things. Hopefully, the linebackers are watching film and fixing a lot of things. Hopefully, Darius Slay and the cornerbacks are watching film and fixing a lot of things. Hopefully, Jonathan Gannon is sitting down, watching a lot of film and drawing up plays and defensive schemes and stuff like that. Because you have the talent. I mean, you have the right coaching staff. There's no excuses. No excuses whatsoever. None. Last year you had excuses. You didn't have talent. That's okay. Now you have talent. There's no excuses. None. So it's balls to the wall right now. But keep it punished for this year. Do you have anything on the Carolina Panthers for this week?
Just the same head coaching search. Steichen did a virtual interview today, which went well. We already interviewed Steve Wilkes, Jim Cardwell, and Frank Wright. We have an in-person interview with my favorite target, Ben Johnson, on Wednesday. DeMeco Ryans' interview got canceled because of logistical issues, but I think it's just they're filling out the minority rule. Like don't tell me he can't do it on Zoom. Don't come tell me that nonsense.
But he can't do it because he's busy. That's why.
No. He was just a minority rule participant. He sucked bad. He can't get on the head coaching job for weeks. He's a byproduct of having good players on defense. That's all it is.
Oh, what? Where does that come from?
I just gotta say it out loud. But he canceled, and Gerard Mayo for some reason canceled because he getting some extension on New England. He sucked bad too. So we gotta find one.
Anybody cancel suck bad.
You better believe it. We gotta find one more black person to fill out the minority rule. We need another black. See if you got another black people out there. Let me fill out the minority rule there, buddy, because it ain't looking too well. I get reports say Panthers need one more minority rule person. I think they might just go and interview.
You better look at Spanish man.
But I mean, Eric Bieniemy, you could interview him, or somebody got to interview. We got to interview another minority person because those two would have counted. Jim Cardwell is the first one, and we needed another one, but Gerard Mayo and DeMeco Ryans canceled. So Gerard Mayo is gonna definitely get some extension from New England. I don't know what it is. He's probably gonna be defensive coordinator because it's an upgrade. And DeMeco Ryans right now he's focused on the Super Bowl run. But they cite logistically. So that's bullshit. It's just probably he probably know that that's not the way they're gonna go. And like I told you guys already on Tuesday,
I look at offensive mindset.
right? Why would I bring in a defensive coordinator when if you want somebody on defense, you're gonna pick Steve Wilkes?
Right.
D'Amico's to me, like I told you guys, D'Amico's a younger Steve Wilkes in my eyes. So
Right.
why bring him in if you don't got Steve Wilkes? Everybody else is offensive. We requested Kellen Moore, requested Mike Kafka. Those are offensive coordinator for the Cowboys and offensive coordinator for the Giants. We requested Ben Johnson, Steve Steichen, Frank Reich, Jim Caldwell. All of them are offense. Ken Darcy from the Bills, offensive coordinator. You can see what's going on. Like I said, Steve Wilkes got to have a hell of a plan to win that job. They said he had a offensive strategy that he was going to preach to David Tepper. I don't know how it went, but we can see the focus. Like I said, my favorite, if I had a list, it would be Ben Johnson, Steichen, then Steve Wilkes. I would prefer even Frank Wright. I put 3A and 3B as Steve Wilkes, that's Frank Wright. But I want either Ben Johnson or Steichen. We're going to see how it happens. Steichen had his virtual interview today. Ben Johnson is actually going to have an in-person interview on Wednesday. So let's see how it goes. But for now, that's just the latest news from Carolina. I don't want to take away from San Fran's victory today. Well fought. Good first half.
Went already.
Good, I see it. I see it. So good first half, but second half was a completely different story. And we expected that from the Seahawks. One thing I was telling KG today is whether or not you want to admit it, experience plays a lot in the playoffs.
True.
And you can tell that the Seahawks are very outside of Pete Carroll, the players itself, it's a young, inexperienced team when it comes to playoffs. Playoffs, you gotta make the adjustments one thing because it's one and done. You lose, you out. In regular season, you can afford to do those stuff and then work on it the next week. Playoffs, get it right or your ass going home. Seahawks just couldn't get it right, especially on defense. And remember I told you, Sheen, for the Seahawks to stay in this game, they got to come out and punch the 49ers in the guts fast.
Exactly.
And that didn't happen. The 49ers was up 10-0. By the time the Seahawks caught themselves, it was still 17-16 at halftime. That's too close to keep a game with the 49ers. You had them down by 10 or 14 going into halftime and force them to lean on Purdy. 17-16 is essentially a toy. You could still control the game. So that's what happened with the Seahawks. Unfortunately, it didn't go as planned, and we saw why. It's just, like I said, if you didn't execute what I said, it was a 98% chance you're going to lose the game. So said, done. When I started, got that field goal at halftime, it was 17-16. It didn't really matter to me. That's too close of a game to keep with the 49ers. They had a punch the 49ers that got all in. Unfortunately, they got punched, played catch up. Yes, they did catch up, but 49ers basically was always in control. And Seahawks are done. Good season from them. They said Gino will be back next season.
I don't think they should bring Gino back.
They're either gonna franchise
back
tag
on a one-year deal. That's it.
Well, they're saying they're trying to get multi-year deal. If not, they will franchise tag him. And remember, the Seahawks do have that pick from Denver.
Mm-hmm.
If they do want to go Stroud or somebody, they can go Stroud. I think
they should.
What number that pick is?
That's 5. I don't think they'll be there though, because remember you have the Texans and the Colts are in front of them. I don't think the Colts are gonna pass about a quarterback.
That's true too. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the issue is they can go Stroud if he falls, but the Colts are definitely gonna go. Is it the Colts? You got the Bears first, Texans second. Who's third? Arizona? I think it's Arizona.
Arizona ain't going quarterback. They're gonna go.
Arizona is definitely going quarterback. Let me just check it quickly. I was watching a mock draft today, and all signs point to Carolina either going Will Levis or Anthony Richardson. But I was very intrigued with the draft order because you could see an active trade, a lot of trades trading up. Let me tell you what it is now. Give me 1 second. Okay, you got Chicago's first. Houston is second. Arizona is third. Indianapolis is 4th. And Seattle is 5th. So the issue is that if Seattle does say they want CJ Stroud, they got to jump over what's his name? They got to jump over Indianapolis. And I don't see Arizona trading with him.
Right.
Why would I bring Schroeder into my division? You
Mhm.
understand what I mean? So for them to actually do something, they got to go number one to Chicago. So I think they'll pass on quarterback, roll with Gino for the next year, and then decide quarterback the year after. But good season from them. They exceeded expectations, in my opinion, based on after Russell Wilson and a young defense. But the 49ers, like we said, that's a very strong team. You got to come right on all cylinders to beat the 49ers. Unfortunately, Seattle learned the reality of not taking my opinion, not taking my advice. And they probably tried, but we can see why San Fran is well regarded as a team to beat in the NFC. And take nothing away from Brock Purdy, the defense, and the rest of those guys. That's a team that's going to be reckoned with. So, congrats to them. They move on. They're in the number 2 seed, which means they're going to face the highest seed because the Eagles will face the lowest seed possible,
Lowest seed, right?
and San Fran will face the highest seed. And we'll talk more about that on Tuesday because
So,
Saturday they still have games on Sunday and Monday.
so me and Casey had a discussion in the beginning of the show,
Mm-hmm.
and on our questionable coaching by the Seahawks, that and I think that they didn't really plan well to perform against.
They were just coaching scared because like I said earlier in the show, a minute and 15 left late in the first half, 3rd and 8, you want the football. That's coaching scared. Knowing Brock Purdy is 9 for 19, coming up in the second half, not giving him Purdy different looks, not blitzing at all for the whole game. That's coaching scared.
And I
And
know if
see,
you watch the game, shitty.
I watch out. I kept joining in and joining out and like just catching recaps.
Right.
The thing with with Seattle, then I think they kind of started from my perspective. Like we gotta do something to take San Fran off the rhythm. We gotta catch them off. Gotta do something. I mean, DK got those catches, yeah, but San Fran, you gotta watch the pass rush. You gotta watch
Mhm.
how the offense is playing. They I think just based on what Pete Carroll said, well, we got to face the San Francisco 49ers.
Right.
He knew what was going to happen because his team technically is a good team for making the playoffs, but he's not San Fran material yet.
Right.
So let's just be honest. If you look at the defense, yeah, they got some viable persons to grow within, Wooten and a few of those guys. But those guys can't keep up with a full 60 minutes of San Fran. On offense, you probably can, but
You don't have
remember,
a quarterback to keep up.
but the thing also is, let's not forget they're starting 2 rookie tackles,
True.
Lucas
Fast.
and Charles Cross. No
Right.
matter how good they did it in the season, again, this is the playoffs. It's just a different feel to it. Every mistake feels like something is gonna happen. You understand what I'm saying? So the pressure's on them. Like I said, they have a good foundation to build on. Unfortunately, any little simple mistake, they were trying Jizzle to tread the water or borderline good and bad. You understand?
Right. Exactly.
They didn't want to let the game get out of hand, but they didn't want to try to get ahead of themselves and then cost themselves something
The
big.
game.
You understand
Exactly.
what I mean?
They were.
So probably in their mind, they were like, let's try to get the game down into the 4th quarter within a field goal. But with reality to them,
Yeah, that wasn't happening.
right? With reality to them, this is the 49ers you're playing. Technically, everybody suggested that the Seahawks shouldn't be there. You gotta go for it. You got nothing to lose. You're playing the Seahawks. The 49ers are Super Bowl contenders. The Seahawks realistically are not. I don't care how confident Geno Smith think he is. They are not Super Bowl. You gotta go for it.
Exactly.
You gotta.
I thought that was their mentality. They were like, they're gonna come in, if they got a 4th shot, they're gonna go for it. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't in the red zone, they're going for it. And that I just didn't see that from the Seahawks today.
Yeah, you gotta push the needle. I don't care. It's the playoffs, last game for you. You gotta get DK in them 15 targets, lock it in them 50. Kenneth Walker, you gotta. I don't care. I don't care about tired and them things. You are not technically supposed. You saw the report that it said everybody in the NFL was pretty angry that it's with the Seahawks and Rams game.
Right.
They favor the Seahawks call because the Lions should have been there. You
Exactly.
understand what I mean?
Exactly.
It was a horrendous. They said it probably is the worst call of the year, the worst call game of the year. So for the Seahawks, you gotta kick them in their throat. You gotta take
Exactly.
chances down the field.
Exactly. Exactly.
Go max protect. You got DK. I don't care if he doesn't
Lockett.
catch it, but you bomb that ball along the field. You spread that defense on to show San Fran
Make them
defense
think about it.
that we're not gonna stay here and let you pass rush us and dominate. We're not gonna let one of them think you bomb that ball on. If you open up that field and spread that play, you go max protect, have DK and Lockett running some routes, and then have a safety blanket. But you bomb that, you force it down San Fran and show them we gonna stay here and we gonna put something in this. You
Yeah, they
understand?
were coaching scared. That's coaching.
Yeah,
They were coaching scared.
unfortunately, like I say, for the only good thing about Seattle with this is they get experience out of it. Take the experience out of this. They're a young team. They obviously are primed well because they got that all the first round pick and a later first round pick on them own. But there's no way. Even like I said, when I saw the scores in the first half, I was like, if Seattle don't try to get away from San Fran, that's it. San Fran is so much in a rhythm that this is again down by 1.5 time. That's still putting them still feel they control the game.
They could have been up a touchdown.
They
It
could've.
was
Right.
it was that one and that like I said that last drive in the first half. A minute and 15 left and you run the damn football. 3rd and 8.
Third mate.
Who does that in the playoffs? 3rd and 8, a minute and 15 left. You run the football. What you playing? Keep away?
See,
This in a minute and 15 left in the fourth quarter.
see, and that's the issue. So we
That's
got
where they lost the game.
unfortunately, again, you know who's another team learned the hard way? Jacksonville right now. Trevor Lawrence just threw a bad pick.
Three picks, right? 3 picks in the first half.
Yeah, I mean it's now 16-0. The body kick an extra point.
That's it. That's it.
Those are just teams that don't get the feeling of it yet. They are good and they can be great for years to come, but they're gonna have to learn the hard way how the playoffs are. One little mistake can change it. You know, in the regular season, you make a mistake and you're like, I could get back in the game.
Mhm.
And the playoffs, it don't work so. It don't work like that. And the playoffs just a different element. People are ready and people ready to go, and you just gotta understand that certain situations in the playoffs gonna hunt you. So, I mean, like I say, Seattle probably should be there, shouldn't be there. They learn the hard way, but there's no way in fact that anyone thought. Probably only Seattle fans thought that Seattle would beat San Fran. The only hope
right.
is
You think that shit.
the only hope for Seattle was Paul to come out and be a 7th round pick. Sure, he's a 7th round pick, but
Right.
again, he had enough games in the regular season to be so comfortable now that it's just hard. Plus, when you run the ball efficiently, it makes the quarterback job so much easier. It go back to the same thing. I come in and go back to the same thing like I say with the Panthers. Every time we won games for the Panthers, Donald was throwing the ball good, but that's because we are averaging 6 to 7 yards rushing. Every time we lost the game was when we were under 100-yard rushing, and Sam Donald had no run game, so the defense is just seizing up on the pass. It happens.
So why didn't you feel comfortable? Why my stomach going nuts?
Because as a fan of the team, you know how football is. It just happens.
You know the game could
No
easily
matter
come.
if you think it's just an automatic lock, there's that 1% in your stomach telling you that this could change in an instant. One injury to Porty, one little mishap. Those stuff can happen. That's football, but that's a fan. Every time I watch the Panthers, there's some
I'm
little
like,
shadow of
nuts.
doubt.
Right.
Right. It's just a shadow of doubt that something can happen. That's a fan. That's a fan of the team because we know no team is perfect. That's just a fan. And again, we know what the playoffs are like. Something can change. One little flick can change the outcome of the game.
Come out flat.
As a fan playing in the playoffs, of course you're gonna be worried about that and watching that. But that's just fans. That's just you as a fan. watching the game and seeing how the game is. And then, like I say, the game came up a little closer than you would imagine in the first half. So you're like, is there a shadow of doubt the Seahawks could be up to something? That big touchdown to DK Metcalf, you're like, is DK gonna go off on us? But unfortunately, Seattle could not keep up to it.
Well, like I was telling KG, if you were watching the finals season, you always gonna get that one explosive play,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that is clamps. So they got their one explosive play, and that was the end of that. No, he had a lot of catches for yardage. He had 10, I think he had 10 or 11 catches. I'm okay with that. 10 catches for 100 something yards. I'm okay with that because that's 10 yards a catch. No, he had like 3 catches for 100 something yards. I'd have been worried. You know what I'm saying? But he had 10 catches for 100 something yards. So that's 10 yards a catch. I'm okay with that. But you don't get we're gonna give up that one big explosive play. I think any defense gonna have that mishap unless you lights up. And no defense out here is lights up.
You see, the thing is, if
they could have got Lockett involved a lot more too. Lockett wasn't involved much in that game too.
but my thing is though, I'm taking shots.
Exactly.
Seattle didn't take enough shots.
KG said that.
Seattle didn't take enough shots. So the pass rush know where we are going. Get to them in a certain amount of seconds. They're trying to run the intermediate route.
He didn't take the check downs too as well. The check downs over.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was a case of Gino feeling that he a little too bigger than the situation.
Exactly.
He had too much to prove. Like, yeah, people would say that it was a fluke season. Let me show them what I got in the playoffs. And
instead of playing within the offense.
Play within the offense. So, but like I say, San Fran is on to the next round. We'll find out who they'll play the highest seed, which can either be Minnesota, or if Minnesota loses, it's the winner of Tampa Bay and Dallas. So we'll have to see what happens. But outside of that, good victory. Nothing more from me. I'll talk a little bit tomorrow about. I don't even have to talk about the Panthers. We don't talk about the Panthers. I got to wait till Tuesday. I got to talk about. We'll talk about the rest of the playoffs.
The games,
yeah, you got 3 games. 2 games will be done by the time we come on tomorrow.
So you'll have this game and then the other 2 games. So you got 3 games to talk about.
Right.
And then just.
But they don't have this game, so
I mean, you expected. Like I said, Jacksonville is very immature when it comes to this. Haven't been in the playoffs long, and the team is very young. So it's a good learning experience for Trevor Lawrence. So remember, Jizzle, we were saying there was a report that Trevor Lawrence had never lost a football game on a Saturday.
Yeah. This might be that game.
High school, college, and NFL. Unfortunately, he'll suffer his first loss. Well, let me don't say that because anything can happen.
17-0 in a playoff game. If the Jaguars come back and win, still need to be walking out the door tomorrow.
Yeah, he'll be fair tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, like I said, playoff football is on us, and I mean, good first game. I don't know how this game it was good until he threw that pick and then they scored a touchdown. So we got to see what happened. And then tomorrow, what we got the Bills and Dolphins, you got the Bengals and Ravens, and you got the Giants and Vikings. And then on Monday, you got the Buccaneers and Cowboys. So some good games to come. We'll see what happens. If anything happens on the Panthers coaching search, I'll keep everyone up to date. If anything happens for the Eagles, just will keep us up to date. But I think the 49ers will relax tomorrow and then get back to work on Monday for their divisional round match. But like I said, that's all for me. I don't know if you guys got anything else.
I didn't mean KG cover most of it earlier before you came on. I think if you didn't come out, we probably gonna wrap up.
Right. Okay, so yeah. So again, like I said, tomorrow is gonna be the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And we'll talk about the rest games coming up and then what matchups we are actually looking at for the
second week
divisional round next weekend. So we'll get a lot of that tomorrow. Get a lot of analysis from that tomorrow. But be sure to like and subscribe to the page. Now always check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And you're more than welcome to come talk some football with us if you ever want to join. Just hit us up.
Go ahead and give a shout out to my Titans fan Ashley out there. She's hanging in there. She hollering.
I'm sure she wish she had AJ Brown right now.
I think she wished that she was playing this game against the Chargers, but
I know, right?
Jacksonville is going to be a force to reckon with for the next few years because young team, a lot of cap, good head coach. They built the right way, so
They got Calvin Ridley coming next year too.
and Calvin Ridley. So tell Ashley she might be going through a lot of headaches the next few weeks, so the next few years. So we're gonna see. But that's it for me. If you guys don't have anything, I mean that's it for the show for tonight. And we're gonna catch everyone on tomorrow. Same time to talk some more playoff football.
Yep.
So peace out until tomorrow, 8 p.m. Keep watching. Go Niners.
Peace.